Hello everybody, Bima here today with the latest tournament coverage of the BSF Championship Series. So today we've got BSF Myanmar from Malaysia, and it was a 1v1 tournament, and we will cover the two sword decks, the Egg Haven deck, and also the Discard Dragon deck that was in the top 4. Before we get into that, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our Patreon supporters, so Rockster, Jarol, Framework, Asuka, Himanshu. Thank you very much for helping support the site. If anyone else is interested in joining the Patreon, we've got a bunch of guides, coaching, and a huge bunch of other kind of features, so make sure to check it out if you are interested. Moving along, I also want to quickly shout out the tournament organizers for BSF Malaysia. So they actually did like a really cool infographic that kind of has a picture of each of the players and a few fun facts about them. So Dynahor, the Egg Haven player, the first winner of this journey, but for BSF, and it's cute but clumsy. We've got Fran, who's playing the romance deck, Romeo and Juliet. But he's also the only married man in BSF SVE, so it's really thematic. And also they say he's one of the best sword players in Myanmar, but I kind of think he's one of the only sword players in Myanmar, to be fair. But we'll let it slip. We'll let it slip. And then we've got Houdini, so apparently this guy originally played Pokemon, but he's come to SVE and has started taking a lot of victories. Evidently he didn't win this particular tournament, but he still managed to get a top 3 finish. It's pretty cool. And then we've got Mello, so he's a new player with only 1 week of experience, and he's playing Hero Sword. He is the new sword wielder of Myanmar. I don't know why he's not also considered one of the best sword players in Myanmar, considering his result, but we'll leave it at that. So, honestly, I think this is really cool. It really helps personify like the players. I've never met any of these players in my life, but I feel a little bit more emotionally connected to them than any of the other tournaments that I've covered from the BSF so far. So I think that's pretty cool. And the other thing to kind of point out here is that for some reason, Bushiroad, the decks that they uploaded and the placements are different from what's actually listed here. So apparently, this is a placement of the top 8 decks. I'm with my head, so you can kind of see it in my deck. But anyway, apparently this is what the tournament organizer said with the top 8. But on the BSF side, it does actually have a different order. So if you check out our website, we actually have it in the official Bushiroad standings. But today I'll cover the top 4 as if it were on the Facebook kind of standings. So first of all, we've got Leo Sword. So this deck, very budget, only 65 USD. It runs quite an interesting number of packages, right? It runs Gawain, which synergizes with commanders. It runs the Romeo and Juliet package. But the main objective of this deck really is just reach turn 6, evolve Leo, get the amulet on the board, all of your creatures get +3/+3, and then from that point onwards, you should be able to close out the game. I do think Leo Sword is pretty good. The only thing that's really standing in its way is that Hero Sword is generally just a better sword deck, but it's not so much better that like if you can't afford Hero Sword, like you should still consider playing Leo Sword, do you know what I mean? So that's the Leo Sword deck. Moving on, we've got the Hero Sword deck. So this one's pretty standard, so it's running the Mars package, it's not running Albert, it's running Hokkaido's, it's running 2 copies of Amelia, and the rest seems fairly standard in my eyes. So yep, Hero Sword, just a standard aggro premier deck, very good. Then we've got Egg Haven, so this was the champions list, so it's running a fairly standard list, except, and I'll call them out. So first of all, he's running 1 copy of Goblin Princess, so this can actually search out Actress Feria and Belringer, and it can evolve to put a Goblin King into the grave, in the EX, sorry, so it kind of feeds into the strategy a bit. He's running 1 copy of Themis' Decree. I don't think this is usually necessary, but considering how board-based his meta seems to be, it kind of makes sense. Apparently, you know, Egg wasn't enough, but he just needed that extra bit of kind of board clear. And he's also running 2 copies of Acolyte's Light, so this card is still a very strong banish spell, gets rid of Leo, which is relevant for his meta. And then also heals for 2, and yeah, it's just a generically good spell. So that's pretty much like, you know, the Egg Haven list. We haven't seen too much of it recently, but the Hani Fams BF Dynahor. Anyway, anyway, this team name I'm not really sure of. Anyway, very creative, well done. And then finally we've got the Dragon list. So this one here is Discard Dragon list. It's running the new BPO4 cards, so it's running 2 copies of Dragon New Fist. So when it goes to EX, you bring it back, it does 3 damage to an enemy follower. And then also 3 copies of Star Phoenix. So basically this comes back for 1 play point when you play a Dragon spell, And if they don't clear it, you can evolve it. It becomes a 4/4, and it pings the card for 2 damage. So it's basically about kind of recurring this repeatedly, forcing your opponent to use their resources to clear it, and then eventually finishing them with either Forte or Agree Cap. So it's not too different from the discard dragon decks you would have seen previously. But yeah, this is a list that is not on the official Bushiroad website, but apparently he did come third. So that's it for today's video. You can check out all the lists on our website, except the discard dragon list. but apart from that, you can check out all of it on our website. And also, if you like content like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.